You mentioned kind of the through line of, I don't know, needing very high up, and it's critical infrastructure essentially on both sides, right? So whether it's Google products that I'm going to rely on when I get in my car in a in an hour after this and drive someplace, or this charging infrastructure where you got fleets that are relying on it for different reasons. Can you speak to kind of the how? So how do you develop a site, and how do you run a site in a way that you are very confident that you're not going to have a problem where you're going to have an outage, or on any frequency have an outage?
Yeah, it's a really great question. It starts with site selection, which, if you can believe it,
Hmm.
you're going to want to pick a location that is in a electrically robust location of the grid. That is this first step. You want to make sure that it's not at the end of a line, a radial line, where there's not this network effect where if something fails, you're at the last point, right? You want to be in a network meshy location. That's important. You want to make sure that you have the right equipment. So when we're picking hardware and software, for example, we want to make sure that we have very reliable partners and reliable vendors. And we've done a lot of testing on this hardware to make sure that we understand how it operates. The software aspect is actually something really critical as well, with lots of different installations across a site, and then lots of different installations in our fleet, in our portfolio. We need really good ways to tell when something is going wrong. It's not different than any other industry that requires this kind of reliability, but you want to know before there's an actual problem, right? So having that communication channel open and understanding how to really view what's going on in our network is going to be really critical and important. And then I think, there's software applications that are out there that'll do that, but will they do it for these really large chargers across a really wide, set across the US? Things we may need to, have people start to develop for us. And then I think, as on-site operations go, data centers have thought very hard about the availability and reliability of their systems. I think it's still early days for transport, right? It was interesting to see, even when we had that freeze in Texas, transit did stop because there were some aspects of not being able to deliver gasoline or diesel to
Hmm.
vehicles. But if you think about that being the main source of, fuel for vehicles, obviously even more critical. So things like backup with batteries, making sure that you have some redundancy across a site, all of those things I think will start to become key components as we develop these really, again, never built before large scale EV charging sites.